for me going live. So I need to see if this at least gets past the first 5 minutes or so, and if TikTok is going to allow me to even do this entire format. But if it's successful, I'll start doing more of these. This will be the first dry run.
I just hold and keep my storage cold, hold, and keep my storage cold.
Now you thought it was just BTC and LTC. Coin Daddy's got it all, even XRP. I'm the Jihan Wu-Tang, crypto shield man, globetrotter hold man, and your favorite coin man. ETH and NEO, Coin Daddy allocated before you know. REP all the way to the ZEC. I'm squatting in front of the SEC. Control your anxiety, get off the PC. Coin Daddy collects all your USD. XRP, BTC, THC. All I need, check core market cap and put your lungs on. Got an ROI so high it's as long as my OMG to the BTG. God damn, it feels good to be me.
I just hold and keep my storage cold, hold, and keep my storage cold.
Now every day is a holding day, so stop the scams and put the coins away. Play video games, ETC, REP, 2CB, don't mess with me. You're holding all your bags like you want to cry. I'm beating your ass like odd job in GoldenEye. OMG, XTZ, XVG, too easy. I'm market making, market take. Piling it up so high for the proof of stake. Conferences in Asia, Korea, to Hong Kong, evangelizing products, Carlos Matos gone wrong. Man after shilling with the mouse and a smile. Just check out my DMs, take them down in the line. Got my coins in a big ass sack, slinging these bags like a heart attack.
Is it cause they like my crypto wow? Is it cause they like these central tiles? Ooh. Is it cause they like my handsome face? Is it cause they like my shilling ways? Oh. Whatever it is, they love it and they just won't let me be. I handle my biz, don't scare me. I got boys at the SEC. Whenever I call, they come running. They just give me that BTC. You know that I ball. Stop whining, I'll call my Twitter army. I just hold. Keep my storage cold, hold, and keep my storage cold,
BTC, XVG, XRP, LTC, THC, 2CB, BRB, BTG, ETH, EOS, ABC, 1T, MCD, MCG, BIAB, RE.
Right now, I'm just noticing the wow. I might have loaded too many things into it. We'll see. Could just be this one scene, but we'll see.
Coin Daddy, why don't you take it away, Dr. DA?
I see trends traded on the weekend. You got weekends. I got a killer streak, man. BTC trader, market shaker, coin curator.
So first thing that I learned there, obviously, is I need to chill out on so many windows. We got the windows way cranked up. But if we're gonna run this thing in the actual order, I do want to check out the market first. So this is a tool that I created. It's Crypto News Pulse.xyz. And yeah, I just want to go through and see what the latest news is. This is going to be an entire stream where it is fairly casual. I implemented a few scenes that I thought would be fun, but I just want to talk like I normally do. Come up here, check out the news. I haven't really been able to look through this, but again, this is a site that I made to make it easy for me to check up on everything really quickly. So, Binance Reg USD, Athena says there's never a DPEG. Yeah, there. So obviously, for those that don't know, and I have the bar going right now, crypto suffered its largest liquidation event in the history of crypto. I don't know if it's for all markets, but for crypto at least. And so there was rumors that USDE had depegged, at least on some exchanges. As Ethereum price reached cycle top. Yeah. So let's go see what some of these top articles are. And I have an algorithm that like picks these based on like what words they're seeing surface the most from other sources. The Feared and Greed Index on the day started at 24. So this only updates once every 24 hours for the Fear and Greed Index. But yeah, we were looking at 24 extreme fear, and about a week or two ago, we were in the greed area at like 70 something. So major dip down into this fear area. And yeah, I've been buying. Market dip like 20% per token. Like whatever, like yeah, that's nom times. So yeah, extreme fear. I'll continue to DCA. Once it starts to make its way out of that, I'll stop my DCA. I'll only have another week or two or so. I said like around like October 20th or so, I want it to be done buying into the market for this DCA. This person on my DCA strategy. So I only got so much longer anyways, but we'll see how that plays out. BTC dominance. I feel like I can't remember where this was at the last few days, but it doesn't look like it's moved too much. We got Bitcoin hovering around $15,000, up almost 5% on the day. Ethereum up 13% nearly to 4,137 from like 38 or so yesterday. BNB also having a crazy day, up 17% to $1,300. Pretty much back to where it was, like even at its like highs most recently. Like BNB's got to be knocking on the door of its all-time high. So I think it's crazy that most people, it seems like on TikTok, are just ignoring BNB. Like you hear no chatter about BNB, and this is like the best perform. Let me look at this real quick. Like, so top tokens here: BNB in the week. All the other top 10 tokens in the week are in the red. Everybody, except for BNB, up 12%, up 128% on the year. Nice grind, above most other top 10 tokens, except for XRP, which had that astronomical pump from like November to what do you want to say, like January. Usually we see a pump like that across a number of years, or for like a large like top 10 token. Not, but it had a lot of pent up energy, and that's why I think the price hasn't been moving much. Like it happened, people, and then we're gonna get XRP like we usually get. History is our best teacher. But point is, this is like one of the best performing assets. Like even on the monthly, all the other top 10s are down. It's up 40%. Well, all the other top 10 tokens are down, and one of them is up 40%. It's just, and nobody's talking about it. Nobody talks about it. It's crazy. It's crazy. Overtook XRP to take the number 3 spot. Had to overtake Solana some time back to get that. No talk on BNB. I think part of it is because there's like a large push by America for America only, or America first cryptos, and so they're, you know, in our best interest to only talk about the ones that are more suited for America, versus BNB and Tron, which are two other top top blockchains that don't really get talked about, even though they're outperforming all the other ones. I like linked to China in some sort of way. So interesting there. Let's see if we can find some other news for roll on with things. Robust liquidity, don't care. Chainlink, Hermetics are 2 crypto assets, don't care. Binance pays $283 million in compensation. Well, that's nice. 3 trillion blockchain payment surge predicted by U.S. and China. Softened trade rhetoric. Yeah, that's the announcement. Came out this morning. Apparently, Donald Trump sent out some type of. People always call it a tweet, but it's whatever you call them on his own app, the Truth Social or whatever. Something about don't worry about China, blah 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 blah. And so the markets. I think that's why the markets have bounced back. So at least that's the reason we're giving ourselves, because I mean, the cascade of Friday was just crazy. So whatever, like call it what you want. Any other interesting news here on this front page? And so yeah, I like to use this just to get like my quick crypto news of the day. I also have like stuff set up on Twitter and X. We're gonna go through that later on in the stream. Share some posts that I bookmarked. But yeah, nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. This really. I think Twitter's probably got better alpha stuff happening right now than like some of these articles. I mean, some of the stuff like Hyperliquid, it's whatever. So yeah, I for one am I'm still bullish, especially since we're down here in extreme fear. This is when you like I'm not throwing everything at the market at once, but for every day that we're in extreme fear. Every few, like, great. It don't get lower. It doesn't, the chart doesn't go lower than extreme fear. So, like, that's when I'm buying. So hopefully, I get, like, a little bit more time in here. If not, whatever, I already got some assets, already had some assets. I wasn't over leveraged in my leverage trades. I only use about 3x leverage or so. One of them had 15x leverage, but I had cascading buys going down to extend it about 2 more times like what I had, and I like to give them like some spacing. So all good in the leverage trades too. They're one of them still negative, but the other one's back in profit. But no liquidations. We ain't getting liquidated. Yeah. So next thing that I want to touch on, I'll give my opinion on things. Kind of just going through the news, seeing where things are at. Here is a clip from the Tom Lee, who is a bit of an ETH bull, but in this clip, he's not even really talking about Ethereum. He's just talking about like the market and what he's expecting next.
The markets lived through this February to April, and it was a day-by-day and day-by-day panic, and maybe there's echoes of trauma people are thinking about. And we do know that this these are important issues. So I wouldn't want to be glib in saying, hey, this is nothing because the market is making a big move. But to me, if I said, okay, what are the reasons stocks have been attractive for the past 12 months? It's been about the innovation coming from AI, and it's the innovation as Wall Street looks onto the blockchain, and now it's the Fed that's beginning an easing cycle. These 3 things have structural tailwinds that aren't disrupted because of potential even rare earth dispute with China.
Do you want to see the market not?
Hold up, let me pause this real quick. Also, thank you for that Crypto Cali. So that can roll in. Trying out this new format. Yeah, I'll probably start doing these more often. I want to make sure that computer can handle it and TikTok doesn't flag anything.
End on its lows. We're not on our lows right now.
Well, it's Friday, and it's a long weekend. So as you know, a lot of people like to shut down their computers. So I wouldn't be surprised if we might see the market close on its lows. But to me, I don't think it's a signal. As you know, markets rarely bottom on Fridays anyway. So maybe Monday is the flush, but then, that's the buying opportunity.
I just hold and keep my storage cold, hold and keep my storage cold.
Now you thought it was just BTC and LTC. Coin Daddy's got it all, even XRP. I'm the G.
Lol. Yeah, music provided by the Coin Daddy. Just a crypto artist that I like to listen to. I think it's really fun music, and so decided to put it into some slides here, some shows here. And this next portion of the stream, what I want to do is I wanted to highlight some videos that I found on TikTok from different creators that I follow, that I think are awesome videos, or at least very educational videos. And throughout this type of, again, working on a new format here, but at this part of the stream, what I kind of want to do is, again, highlight other TikTok creators and like videos that I find that are actually educational. Maybe sometimes just for the entertainment purpose if it's really good, but I'm trying to find like who are those good TikTokers that you can follow. So if it's really funny, maybe they'll make this section too. But this week we starting up, we got Cali Crypto or Crypto Cali.eu. We got 99 Rising and Spades HQ. Yeah, I thought these were all excellent videos, so I'm gonna run them through.
With Pump Fund looking hot and the Bonk Fund ecosystem growing, I feel like it's important to make a quick video regarding how to buy.
And I gotta preface this by saying, like, this is not about buying meme coins to me. This is about the actions taken here to get onboarded, to get a wallet, and then to get assets that you like that are on chain, which Callie explains here.
Meme coins. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to go to your app store and you want to download the Solana Phantom wallet. Now, once you've gotten your Solana Phantom wallet, you're going to see something like this. You're going to create different, like you can create an account and you can have multiple wallets in it. Make sure to, do all the security measures necessary, like saving your private keys and your seed phrases in a, secure place. And then what you want to do is you want to either buy some Solana with cash. You can do it with like Apple Pay and card and whatever, or you can just transfer some Solana out of your centralized crypto exchange or wherever it is you may have it stored. Now, after that, here at the bottom corner, you will see little tabs, and you want to go from your home tab to your swap tab. And in here, you'll be able to swap some Solana for whatever meme coin it is that you want to buy. I think this video is important because you guys have been watching my content. You guys know that I'm really big into 6-7, and it's done really well for me. And, it's peaked out at like a 20x from where I called, which was at 1 mil. And, with the pullback that we're seeing and with a little bit of FUD and, with a little bit of concerns regarding if, the bonk people are going to actually help push this project or not, the moment you identify a potential entry, it's important to know how to buy it. Of course, when you're looking to trade meme coins generally, when you're looking to do it at a much, quicker pace and whatnot, you want to use a different platform. You don't want to do that through Phantom. You want to do that.
Yeah, so I'll say again, what's up, Nate? Trying out a new format. I want to start highlighting some other TikTokers when I do some streams and just doing scheduled new segments. So for my little practice stream, I wanted to highlight this video from Cali. I got 2 other content creators on TikTok whose videos I liked. I thought they were nice and educational. So yeah, right now I'm running things through, seeing if TikTok throws any flags, how it goes, how my computer handles it, all that fun stuff. And if it's good, I'll keep running them.
Through something like Axiom or Photon Wallet or whatever it is you want to use.
Just letting you know.
But yeah, when you're trying to just buy and hold some of these memes that you may see potential in for the longer term, this is the way you can go about it. Also to check your charts, you can download Deck Screener. On the first screenshot, I think if you actually look up Phantom, Deck Screener should appear as well on it, like on the search bar. And yeah, that's all you need. Now, of course, this doesn't mean buy meme coins. This doesn't mean, follow me in my degeneracy. This doesn't mean buy 6-7 coin right now. None of this is financial advice. None of this, is me shilling anything. I'm just letting y'all know how to buy it in case, you identify an entry that you like and in case you identify, an opportunity. That is it. So everyone make sure to stay safe and yeah.
What is my opinion on Cardano? Because I get asked all the time. Do I like it? Do I hold any? Am I going to buy some? So here is my raw, unfiltered opinion. And there's a lot of good mixed with a lot of bad.
I'm going to pause this in a little bit.
So let's start off with the good.
Explain why
it's faster than Ethereum. It has cheaper fees than Ethereum. It can scale better than Ethereum. It focuses on academia, which is great. But right about there is where the good ends and the bad starts to creep in. See, the reason why, and people don't understand this, the reason why Ethereum is so dominant, it has all the institutions, all the developers, the entire ecosystem. It has the stable coins. It has Chainlink. It has Ripple stablecoin. The reason why that is not because it's cheap. It's not because it's fast. It's because it has stability, security, and it's easy to build on. That right there eliminates everyone who has ever said, my layer 1 is faster. My layer 1 is cheaper. It can scale better. None of that matters. The top 2 coins in crypto by market cap are 2 of the slowest with the highest fees. That did not happen by accident. So do I like Cardano? Yes.
And right before this video wraps up, I want to say that like why I chose this video specifically is not because he chose Ethereum over Cardano. It's because he focused on fundamentals. The reasons why he chose Ethereum over Cardano came down to what we call fundamentals, like straight up data points. When we look at the side-by-side data, users, throughput, whatever, volume, Ethereum is winning out on top of a lot of other things. And so he used what we call fundamentals. And I'm mentioning that partially because this next video, the woman's going to mention that as well, or at least the idea of fundamentals.
You want to make sure how to take the emotional pulse of the market because emotions drive market price as much as fundamentals do. There are tools that help us with this, right? There are fear and greed index tools. You can find them on CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, Alternative.me has one. But what they're all trying to do is gauge and quantify emotional states. They'll take variables like Bitcoin dominance, trends, social media listening, different volatility metrics, and they'll compute it all and spit out a score. Today's score, we're sitting around a 40. So we are smack middle in the neutral range, okay? I feel like 40 is kind of leaning towards the red and orange side, which is more of the fear side. And that usually means that prices are going down. All right. And general market sentiment, they're usually afraid and they're pausing. But for us, we understand with those projects that we have fundamental conviction in that things are undervalued. Versus on the right-hand side, when there's all this hype and all this greed and all of the green candles are pumping, we know that things could potentially be overvalued and we don't want to buy at those high highs. All right, so that's why we need to check the emotions of this thing and then really cross-reference it with our fundamentals.
Okay, and so at this point, like, again, like, she's mentioning the fear and greed index, and like I mentioned that earlier, that's one of the tools that I put on my website for these exact same reasons, and she's mentioned she's crossing it with fundamentals. So she's using fundamentals and then seeing where we are on the fear and greed index, and she's using that as a time where she feels like, you know, she's going in harder on her conviction plays. So pointing that out.
For me right now, I'm really excited about this low pullback because I'm looking at the fundamental projects like Ethereum, all right, the OG for smart contracts, big institutional engagement. You got Chainlink, which is kind of like, in my mind, the glue with their essential decentralized, Oracle structures. Then you've got AVAX, which is getting a lot of heat for RWA integration on their blockchain. And then you've got Render for me, strong AI play with their decentralized GPUs. But those are big bets that I look at that are building infrastructure of the future. And I like to pay attention of them when I feel like they're being undervalued. But use the fear and greed index to your advantage.
How much money can you make in a day? Let's play. I got that crypto. I got that ripple. Yeah, I'm slanging Tron all day long. And you better believe I'm about to short some Bitcoin. Yeah, that's right. I'ma go and short some Bitcoin every day and every night. Cause right now it's a bearish market. There ain't nothing in sight. Where the money at?
All right, yeah. So Nate was mentioning why is this one messed up over here? Let me fix this real quick. Nate said, you and your shiesty mask. You know, stay with the shiesty mask on. Yeah, the entire thing. It's like it's all black over here, so but yes, the mask is on. The mask is on. But yeah, what I wanted to go through next, and let me just confirm that. Scene capture. Yeah, I wanted to check out some of my bookmarks here. So my Twitter, I tweet sometimes, but I really just try to like curate lists for people and curate interesting topics that I find. And so yeah, I'm going around, I'm just retweeting and stuff like that, making connections with like really interesting stuff because yeah, that's how you find the most. So I wanted to check out some of my bookmarks here. Giggity. Some of the interesting news that in some of these bookmarks I don't like retweet everything, and so that's like the fun thing. Some of them I'm like, that might be a fun meme. So here's the Trump tweet, softening the China news, being like, okay, I was just playing, and so that's what the markets are reacting to supposedly today, and why we're seeing this strong rebound. I found this is an interesting post. I'm not going to dive too much into it. I just wanted to really point out that this is like an area of crypto that a lot of people overlook, especially a lot of new people. If people are new, they like don't really think about airdrops, and that's an opportunity to just get free crypto. Essentially, like usually it's for participation, either using that crypto blockchain or project. Sometimes it's just having a wallet, but essentially you need to be on chain. And there's a historical precedent of when you're not on chain and you think you're due an airdrop of these large centralized exchanges, the Coinbase, the Krakens, the Binances of the world, not paying people their airdrops on time or at all. And so it really is important to be online because you're probably not going to get an airdrop period if you're not on chain. But yeah, this is just like a cool graphic because it's a bunch of airdrops that people are looking for in the space. So I'm not going to pay attention to any one particular, but point that out. Fun chart from Richard Hart here. I'm surprised he was bull posting Ethereum. I'm like, that's crazy. Is he done posting for Pulse? What's up? This tweet right here from Francisco Ederloli. I don't know. But it's basically pointing out a new Ethereum token standard. So ERC20s is like just tokens on Ethereum. ERC 721s are NFTs. There are different types of NFTs standards, so 404s and whatever else and blah, 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 blah. This is an ERC 20 standard that is specific to agents, AI agents. And so if you're going to make an AI agent, they basically are saying they're going to create this standard for your AI agents so that they can communicate with other AI agents seamlessly. Like as long as you guys both have this standard for your AI agent, then they'll interact with each other. So that's what this post is about. So that's crazy that's happening. I didn't even know that was happening until most recently. But really cool stuff. This is in the vein of that. Somebody working on a similar project at Ethereum. Ethereum's really, again, the privacy narrative has been jumping off lately. Actually, I think that's it. This one's about privacy, and the other one's about the AI. I forgot how they were connected. I think it's just that they were both on Ethereum. Some stuff into that, or maybe the agents had a layer of privacy to them. I can't remember. Yeah, this huge Bitcoin candle that we experienced together. I'm gonna play that later on, so just roll on by. Bitcoin predictions for the end of 2025 by major Wall Street players. End of year Bitcoin price targets. Standard Chartered 135,000, Skybridge 150,000, Citigroup 132,000, JP Morgan 165,000. Everybody's got a bet that's higher than we are right now. That's interesting. Played that video. There's the 9 billion. I think it gets like, yeah, and the last thing that I'll point out within here, because otherwise I've started to go back a little further. It's not a full week yet, but I think I've gotten through most of the things that I wanted to check out. The last thing was just that, Poly Market. I believe they were, what was the exact news? Were they acquired by the same company that owns the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange? I can't remember which one it is. But essentially it made the creator of Poly Market a billionaire. And, this is pretty big news. This is pretty big news. Poly market is kind of being welcomed in as this like prediction marketplace in crypto. It's like it's interesting. Actually, can I play this? I think I can play this video. Let's see. We can see if they're saying anything. Chazen, yeah, so he's the youngest self-made billionaire in history. And so they're like, you did it my way. Nice. All right, that's the bookmarks. What else did I want to throw in here? I wanted to throw something else in here. So the new thing was the AI project. There was also that privacy one, but I'm not really gonna spend time on that. I mentioned the airdrops. This was on that airdrop list. Not the chain itself. The blockchain itself is rumored to not have a token. And so I take that the same way that I took base chain, rumored to not have a token, which was the case. Like even now, they're only rumored to maybe have a token. But for years, like I think it's like year 2 on base chain or something like that. So I'm not expecting anything from this blockchain itself. However, all these different projects that are launching on it, that they have here, and their little ecosystem explorer challenge activity, I think some of these are going to have tokens. I think some of them are probably going to have, and if they're going to reward somebody early, like, one thing that you want to do is you want to have as fair as distribution as possible with your token. So who knows how they're going to do it, but I think they would maybe use the people that was testing it on Testnet. And if nothing else, this will have me keep tabs on these projects and be early to whatever yields and whatever token opportunities they do end up having. So just keep my finger on the pulse. But what they have here essentially is that's just a cross chain DEX. I don't like doing those ones. I'm gonna do this one. I wanted to do this one. This is basically just like practicing blockchain, right? So this is a test net, so you're not spending anything on it. It's just fake money. And this is for the Citrio blockchain, which is a Bitcoin ZK rollup. What? Those exist in testnet. It's not yet to launch, but should be launching soon. They keep teasing that. So what you can do here is you can go, and they keep like winking at you and stuff and being like, go do our exercises, go do them for these different applications. Yeah, so I'm going to go do them. And yeah, it's practicing on-chain activity, practicing DeFi with no actual money. So you're just using fake money to do it. It tests the network, make sure things run the way they say they're going to run. So I should already be logged into my wallet. I'll push connect here. I don't think you guys are going to see the thing when it pops up, but my page is running a little slow. We'll see if I go through all these. But the tasks are usually pretty simple. They want you to do something like swap token. So swapping is just trading. So moving your stable coin into Bitcoin or some meme coin or something like that. And this testnet, it's been like fairly serious with the tokens. And that's right, Satsuma at least has its own token. Like some of these on testnet do have their own tokens. They're gonna have to have their own real token too. So yeah, it makes sense to be playing with some of these, in my opinion, but it's not financial advice, and none of it costs money anyways. What this, bro? Okay, it finally logged in, I guess. All right, and so what was my task here? My task was to swap CBTC to Nectra USD, and if I do it, then this bubble is going to fill up. CBTC to Nectra is CUSD. No, is this one? Okay, and then I want to say like a small amount of my Bitcoin, maybe even less than that. Let's see if I can get away with less than that. It's just testnet Bitcoin, but at the same time, I don't want to like have to like always swap back and forth between some of these assets. So, and again, my computer's moving a little slow with the streaming. I need to continue to upgrade it. woof. Oh, okay, it popped up over here. And you can't see these because it's like I have it in window capture, but the fee for this trade is estimated to be around or less than 1 cent on this Bitcoin L2, and the transaction time is 1 second, or about 1 second. Task completed. And it gave me a campaign progress update. That's funny. So then this should, I feel like if you wait a second, it's gotten that much better. And it unmelts. So their whole theme here is unfreezing Bitcoin apps. Unfreezing in the sense that like Bitcoin is not programmable the same way that Ethereum is programmable. It's a lot harder to make DeFi applications on Bitcoin. And so they're like your unfreezing Bitcoin's utility, where you can make some, but they're just very basic compared to what you can do on like an Ethereum. So now I want to swap CBTC to CUSD, and that last amount was fine. But yeah, this is a great way to learn how to do stuff on chain, and again, it's likely to be incentivized. Even if it's not, it's just a good learning experience. But yes, again, these projects, it'll keep you tapped in to new projects. Imagine being there day one for like Aerodrome or something, or Uniswap, or like, that's what's about to happen on any new blockchain when that happens. And like, you might be like, well, Citri, I've never heard of that blockchain. Well, guess what? The White House has heard of this blockchain. The White House released a crypto report of different projects they were paying attention to in the DeFi space, and this was on one of the list. Like, so I'm like, it's not even out yet, and they know about it. I didn't see them list any other test nets. It's actually kind of crazy. Like, why did they list that test net? And I'll just leave it at that, because I'm like, whatever. Again, the chain itself doesn't have a token, but there's a bunch of projects over here that will have tokens. And I think they listed it. They were being smart because it gives you programmability to Bitcoin, bro. Like, this is actually a dope blockchain project with a bunch of like, it's a smart project, guys. But again, it's a tokenless project too. So that task should be done. Boom. And then swap CBTC for USDC Satsuma. And Satsuma is one of the other chains, or not chains, projects on Citria. So they just had like all like stable coins. Maybe they want to be like Curve or something. I'm not going to explore their pools, especially since they didn't have it as a task. But did want to show this off. Again, there is this entire page over here of different apps. And so if they're unfrozen, if it doesn't look like an ice block, it's because I've unmelted that entire ice block there. It's not very hard to do these. Yeah, I would go through, and if you don't know about blockchain, you've never done anything on chain, this is a great way to get started and learn, like testnets. Maybe there's still time for Monad's testnet. I don't know. Is there anything else I want to jump into here? Okay, last thing I want to jump into for moving forward was the market overview. Ooh. Specifically from Token Terminal. So that was a Citria website that I was sharing. This is Token Terminal. Nice little data, you can call it a data aggregator. I don't know, it's like a data analysis website. So what we're looking at here is the fees on the market. I could sort it by something else, some other type of metric, but what I'm curious is, in the last 24 hours, what blockchain projects have been making the most money? Like, when the market was down, what were people doing, essentially? Because that's how it's going to go. If a lot of money was going into a specific project, then they were making more money. Yeah. More fees. I'm gonna confirm my transaction. So 1 second. Boom. Okay, and so we see here in the stablecoin space, it was tethered by a long shot. They just like over encompassed everybody else. USDE had that depeg scare, and so you can see they were even like, just like dwarfed by Circle. So USDC. So they won over there. Tron, I don't know if this is even like different for what normally happens. It says it's down a little bit, but Tron leading the pack over here. Then we got BNB, Ethereum, Zcash. That's crazy because Zcash is not programmable. It's not like these other blockchains where you can actually do like DeFi and stuff like that. This is just like a Bitcoin clone that's private. Solana, Bitcoin itself, and then I think that's like Avalanche down there. To note, in the lending space, Aave, #1 champ, it's the biggest one. Then we got Morpho, Coinbase's, coming in second. Euler, it's like Euler. I always want to say Euler, but it's like Euler. And then Spark and Fluid to pay attention to down here. I think part of the reason for Fluid is Fluid runs the Jupiter lending protocol and a bunch of other ones I think in the space. They're kind of like Hyperliquid is going to be running in the background for a lot of perps. Like for example, MetaMask just launched perps, and in the background it's actually Hyperliquid, and Fluid is similar to that for a lot of these platforms that want borrowing and lending to happen. In the background it's actually Fluid. So when we look right next to them, so that's lending, and then the derivative side of things, it is Hyperliquid. Dex aggregators, it's Jupiter, so that's that Fluid connection. Flashbots, Base, this is just in terms of others that have made a lot of money. Arbitrum. I saw something where somebody was like, I don't want to go too much into it, but yeah, Arbitrum is not to be overlooked in crypto and DeFi. Like, I think that is like the DeFi blockchain, in my opinion. Like, I don't know what other blockchain is doing DeFi blockchain better than Arbitrum like that. Serious assets are on Arbitrum, and like most of the time it's like a lot of DeFi assets that you can't get on other chains. Sometimes like it's there first, or they develop the thing there first. So yeah, I just wouldn't count it out, and I feel like a lot of people are kind of sleeping on it. All right, was there anything else I want to cover over here? We did Citria, we did Arbitrum. Oh, the last thing that I want to cover over here, and I want to make sure I mention this because I do want to record this and then like maybe upload it to YouTube or something. But this is this application. Nate was asking, are you gonna share any like new things? And we've done it a few times now. We talked about AI, we talked about new Ethereum standards, we talked about all these projects launching on the Citria blockchain. For this next one, I want to talk about a project in the privacy narrative that is launching with, they're trying to have one of the biggest airdrops in crypto history. So let me bring it up on screen. Hold up, I think this needs to like refresh. All right, so it's called Midnight. Let me make sure this is like showing up for you guys. Great. It's called Midnight. It's a privacy blockchain, a privacy L1, and they have what's called rational privacy. So something you can choose. Basically, you get an extra set of keys. I believe it's an extra set. And if somebody so your transactions are private, but if somebody like the government comes knocking and they're like, yo, we need to see that transaction, you can share these keys with them and they can see that specific transaction. What up, Meech? Chilling. Getting through this stream, sharing some projects, chilling. So Midnight is not launched yet. They are also in testnet, but the claim process for their token is live. And again, this is a large airdrop that a lot of people in crypto have qualified for and just don't even know. They're trying to have the largest crypto airdrop in history. And so essentially, if you had, we'll go to their website and check this out. But essentially, if you had Bitcoin on a Bitcoin wallet, Ethereum on an Ethereum wallet, like L1, BNB on a BNB wallet, that basic attention token, XRP, like Onchain in an XRP wallet, all these tokens, then you were eligible. Let's go to this claim night page. Let me see. So they'll have that information there for me. And so I was eligible in a few wallets. Cardano, because it's a Cardano partner. This is the first Cardano partner chain. I thought it was Milk Meta, but I guess they weren't necessarily. I don't know. They said this is the first one, and Cardano says it too. Charles says it all the time and stuff. So I'm like, okay. Multi-phase token distribution. This first portion is called the Glacier Drop, where it's a multi, like everybody who, again, if you have tokens on those chains that I just listed, you're eligible. You probably needed like $100 worth of whatever on one of those chains. And then the next phase is going to be open to anybody who wasn't eligible for that first airdrop phase. The next phase will be for those people, and then you'll have to do something called scavenger mine. I'm not exactly sure what that'll be yet, but it's supposed to open it up to even more people. So here it is, 50% of the token supply allocated to ADA holders, 20% of the supplies to the BTC holders, 30% to ETH, Solana, XRP, BNB, Avalanche, and Basic Intention token. Then they get a scavenger mine, lost and found. I think that's like a redistribution of tokens that didn't get taken up. But yeah, this is Glacier. Again, if you look at Charles Hoskinson's like Twitter recently, he's probably talking about this. The token is Night. It's not out yet. The blockchain is Midnight. It's privacy layer. It's got gas abstraction, if I'm talking like nerdy to you, which means you don't have to pay gas for transactions on the blockchain. That's partially how they help make them invisible, or private, I should say. Yeah, again, XRP people, if you have XRP tokens in your wallet, you might have some Glacier drops, some Night tokens available for you. So just showing that out there. That's my last one that I was sharing today. I wanted to transition to this next video because I was like all nerdy and a lot of information and stuff. So this next video is to kind of ease back into things. This is from Clemente, his fields on the market.
I woke up this morning. I wasn't on Twitter last night. I woke up this morning and I was expecting to see some really good analysis and investigative work over what happened. And instead, the first tweet I see was Fartcoin looks good here. Bought the dip. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Fartcoin doesn't look good here. A mental institution looks good here. If you have the audacity to look at everything that happened over the last 24 hours and have the balls to buy Fartcoin or go, Mog looks good here. You know what? I'm not going to buy Bitcoin. I'm not going to buy Solana at a 20% discount. Takabu looks good. Good God. I mean, some of you guys need help. I hope it works out for you. I hope it works out for you. Good luck. I don't have the fucking balls to buy Solana or Bitcoin. And you guys are buying Fartcoin?
BTC trader, market shaker, coin curator, price dictator. You just blew your account. Mine has 9 lives. I've been hunting all the stops. I've been catching all the knives. You struggle with the dips. I can manage just fine. And you're never gonna get a killer entry like mine. Some are bulls or bears.
All right. It's about time to buy the dip. I mean, been buying it. Today is not a buy day for me. I need to wait until Monday plays out a little bit. But I love that we are in extreme fear. I did buy during the panic on Friday. Yeah, I feel like I maybe tossed a few dollars in yesterday. Today is like a chill day. And to anybody who's new to investing and stuff, you should, it's not financial advice, but you should look into what it means to DCA, dollar cost average, instead of just putting all your money in at once. Spread that out. Alrighty. What else did I want to go into today? Was there any other closing remarks that I was thinking? Charting outlooks and metrics. Yeah, so we looked at token terminal. I gave us a nice picture of that. Oh. Here, this is some fun information. I'm going to have to go back up to this other screen for it. Here you go. So this is some fun information. I just commented this on somebody's post, actually. We were talking about the market crash and how it impacted things, and he mentioned that Ethereum was working just as intended. I mentioned that yes, sure, it was working just as intended. However, we got to remember, like, the fees skyrocketed. And the fees skyrocket anytime Ethereum like goes into overdrive with like too many transactions coming in, just period. And they skyrocket to try to slow that down, like, right? And so while that's happening, you can look at it as like, oh, it got too expensive for people. Again, it was a very short time period. This affected all markets. most markets or most exchanges, you could not transact on, period. So that's an interesting thing as well. A lot of them just stopped your ability to do anything. At this one, you could at least pay a higher fee. And here, I want to point this out. So we're looking at larger time frames, but when we look at the probably the weekly now, I was looking at it like the 24-hour or something like that before. Let me flip this around. We'll film more. I need a larger, so yeah, that's the daily. The 7-day, here it is. This is what it looked like. I forget what this is. This is like for ETH supply to have not increased at all from a certain date. But what we saw here was the inflation was happening, so tokens get issued into the market every day. And actually ETH issuance is like super negligible compared to like even like Bitcoin. It's kind of crazy. But this is this line is showing the issuance of tokens. And then came that market crash. And the ETH fees spiked and people still wanted to use it and blah, 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 blah. And what we can see here is that issuance starts to drop off. And it's dropping off because a whole bunch of ETH was burned. 3,000 ETH was burned. Almost 3,300, almost 3,400. So it's 18,000 ETH issued in the last 7 days. At some point in time, 3,300 was burned. And what that looked like was like a deflationary move for the token issuance, and now it's back on, so that happened, and then it's going up again. But I'm pointing this out because that's what happens when we see these like large spikes for Ethereum, and that's happening with Ethereum in general, like on a very gradual level, which is why they have things like blobs, which is why they're looking for scaling mechanisms and all this other stuff. And it's not just Ethereum, it's other blockchains too, but the Ethereum community does a really good job of making like tools like this so that you can see all the data, which is why I end up like highlighting them so much, because everybody else doesn't have this type of stuff. But this is really great data. So cool stuff there. Wanted to point that out. See, was there anything else that I wanted to share? Yeah, no. Yeah, pay attention to the market, read stuff, use my tool here, my tool that's at the end of all the bumps. cryptonewspulse.xyz. Good news aggregator. I aggregate from over 30 different of the top crypto news sources. So you can go to one place and get them all. And then, we got the Free and Greed Index, Bitcoin Dominance, a bunch of top tokens. I think these are like the top ones that I feel like would be like the biggest narratives in the market, which is why I have them there. And then just great news. So that's it for today. I want to roll this thing out. I wanted to keep this like a tight stream. I might talk if you guys have any questions or anybody just wants to chill afterwards. But yeah. I'll leave you guys with this last video.
Good morning! If you held your coins from the tippy top till this very moment in time, then congratulations! You are a Chad! You have hands of ice and steel! Now that does not mean that we cannot dip lower! Dip to the Suzu bottom selling point! But it does mean that you survived some pretty painful shit! And that you've got balls of motherfucking steel! Your task is not done and on. We have not conquered TradFi just yet. But we are slowly making our goddamn way! This is for you, crypto!
Yeah, thanks for that follow, Immortal. Thanks for the support, Nate. I'm gonna wrap up today's stream. See you guys in the next one. It looked like everything worked out. I need to close some of these windows, have less windows when I start up, but in this format's gonna work out. I'll try to upload this to YouTube. Do this format more often, highlighting different content creators, having some funny clips and stuff like that in there, and bringing some good news. Peace.
I'm the crypto shill man, gold profit hold man, your favorite coin man, ETH and NEO, coin daddy.
That's funny. I pushed the wrong thing.
REP all the way to the Z.